Jake Tapper surprised me with this segment, I must say. He praised Donald Trump, who he usually slams. Let's see what his argument is.
Paraphrase and flip William Shakespeare. I come to you at the end of the show today to praise Donald Trump, not to bury him. Outgoing President Trump deserves our thanks for approving Operation Warp Speed, which helped to bring us the COVID vaccine. He has rethought trade deals. He has reimagined peace in the Middle East. He has pushed foreign policy consensus to put more of a priority on bringing U.S. service members home, even if his follow-through has been rather wanting. These are legitimate achievements. There are other ways outgoing President Trump perhaps inadvertently has done us a service. The relationship between the news media and the U.S. government should not be anywhere near as antagonistic as it's been under President Trump, but it should be adversarial. Maybe Trump has been right to not attend the dinners where politicians and reporters cozy up to each other. Maybe he exposed as unseemly something that should not return to normal. The president has also exposed the problem that so many of our standards and norms in the U.S. seem to be based upon the honor system. There isn't, for instance, an explicit law against a U.S. president trying to extort a foreign country to provide dirt on a domestic political opponent. A government upheld upon the honor system only works if everyone involved has honor. This seems something that legislators should re-examine. And then finally, let us look at the events of the last week, where the president pushed an insane lawsuit, the big one, he called it, from the Attorney General of Texas. It was a clownish legal brief based on conspiracy theories and outright lies. And 18 state attorneys general, some U.S. senators, and a majority of the House Republican caucus, 126 members, supported it. President Trump did us a favor by exposing these elected officials. They are definitionally people who signed on to a desperate desire to subvert the will of the American people, to disenfranchise voters in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, based on lies and conspiracy theories, putting an immoral and corrupt power grab above democracy.
Yeah, so that was weird. That whole segment was kind of weird. Let's go through it. So what things is it legitimate to say thank you to Trump for, and what things is it not legitimate at all? So the first thing he brings up is the COVID vaccine and rushing the COVID vaccine. My response to that is, I don't know how much credit he deserves because I don't know how much him barking actually changed anything. Now, if him pressuring pharmaceutical companies and if him constantly being on top of that and telling people we need this now, we need this now, we need this now, if that actually sped up the process, then I will give him credit, and he deserves credit. And you know what? Maybe that is what happened. Maybe, because there were stories of him barking at pharmaceutical CEOs and being like, we need this now, get to fucking work on it. But my understanding was it doesn't matter how much he says that, the process is going to take however long it's going to take because you have to make sure that the vaccine works and is safe. And so there's a certain amount of time that you need in order to get it done. So I don't know how much of an impact he had, but if he did have an impact on that front, sure, then I'll give him credit. Of course he deserves credit on that front. Sure. I have no problem doing that at all. So I think that point from Jake Tapper is the least objectionable. And I understand giving credit if indeed he did help a lot. The rest I'm not. I don't know about it. So he says he thanks Trump for bringing, or at least trying to bring troops home, even though he didn't do it in the best way. And it's that I'm not giving credit on because he didn't actually do it. And even the appearance of it is not it. It's still keeping thousands of troops in the Middle East. Okay, so you reduce the numbers. Whoop-de-doo. Obama did that also. Did I give Obama credit for reducing the numbers? No, I'll give you credit when you actually bring them home. So it's that stupid head fake that everybody falls for. He's using the language of withdrawing and then just not withdrawing. It's exactly what Obama did. Nonsense. If anything, it's more dishonest, right? Because you're staying there and you're pretending like you're not. At least be honest about what you're doing. No, we're going to stay there. We're going to have thousands of troops there. What are you going to do? At least that's honest. So I do not give him credit on that. Then he brings up the redoing trade deals. In theory, that would be something to give him credit for, but the terms of the deals are not great. Like, meet the new NAFTA, same as the old NAFTA. There's a giant giveaway to pharmaceutical companies in there. I'm not going to give him credit for that. Are there some provisions in the USMCA, the new NAFTA, that are better than the old NAFTA? Sure. I'll give him credit for the specific ones, but overall, no. Overall, you blew a real opportunity here to actually renegotiate it in a way that's good. So that's not good. Then he says he wants to thank Trump for making the news media more adversarial. To which I reply, they're going to go right back to not being that with the next administration. Like, if Trump permanently made the news media more adversarial, good. But they're not going to do that. They only go after Trump usually on things that are silly. They don't even go after him on the most important substantive things. But like the second Biden's in the White House, they're going to go right back to going soft on him, just like they were soft on Obama. Because the mainstream media, it's an elitist circle. And if you're in the club, they treat you kindly. If you're not in the club, they don't treat you kindly. It's that simple. None of it's ideological. None of it's substantive. None of it's policy-based. And so, yeah, they may be adversarial now, but they are going to go back to what they were before. He's right, by the way, that like it's good that we don't have the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but they're going to go right back to having the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I imagine. So we'll see on that front. And then finally, he said he thanks Trump for ripping the mask off of Republicans and showing that they're anti-democracy. This is a funny one because it's like thank you for being so terrible. That's basically what he's saying. But listen, we already kind of knew that the Republicans were like this, right? Like look at the 2000 election. In the recount, Al Gore won, but George W. Bush was given Florida. I mean, this is like, that's just one example, but clearly they're not like, principled in favor of democracy. Look at the voter ID shit they try to do. Look at what they're trying to do the signature matching where it's like, let me see a minor difference in your signature from this thing to this thing, and now I want to dismiss your vote as a result of that. That's deeply anti-democratic. So, of course, they're anti-democratic. We already knew that. Jake Tapper's acting like, well, before Trump, we didn't know. Because you're a little silly. That's why you didn't know. You're not paying attention, or you're willing to give people the benefit of the doubt when they don't deserve it and haven't earned it at all. So, anyway, weird segment. I never thought I'd see Jake Tapper thanking Trump. The only thing where it might make sense is the COVID vaccine. Outside of that, I don't know what he's doing, but not great points.